Imagine arriving at a small American settlement, only to find every house empty, no bodies, no signs of battle, no cries for help, just silence. More than 100 men, women, and children had vanished without a trace. They left behind only one mysterious word carved into a wooden post: Croatoan. More than 430 years later, historians still debate what really happened. Tonight, we're uncovering one of America's greatest unsolved mysteries. In 1587, England hoped to establish its first permanent colony in North America. Governor John White led more than 100 settlers, including families and children, to Roanoke Island, located in what is now North Carolina. Life was difficult, food was scarce, supplies were limited, and relationships with some indigenous groups were tense. When the colony desperately needed help, John White sailed back to England for supplies. He believed he would return within months. John White believed he would be gone for only a few months. His mission was simple: return to England, gather food, tools, weapons, seeds, and more settlers, then sail back to Roanoke before winter. As he prepared to leave, he hugged his family goodbye, never imagining it would be the last time he would see them. Among those he left behind was his daughter, Eleanor Dare, and his newborn granddaughter, Virginia Dare, the first English child born in North America. White promised them he would return soon. With hope in his heart, his ship disappeared beyond the horizon. But across the Atlantic, events took a devastating turn. England was preparing for war against Spain. King Philip II had assembled the mighty Spanish Armada, one of the largest naval fleets the world had ever seen. Every available English ship was urgently needed to defend the kingdom. John White pleaded with officials to let him return to Roanoke, but his requests were denied again and again. Month after month, then year after year, he could only wait. While England celebrated its victory over the Spanish Armada in 1588, White's thoughts remained thousands of miles away. He wondered if the settlers still had enough food, if they had survived the winter, or if they believed he had abandoned them forever. 3 agonizing years passed before he finally secured a ship willing to cross the Atlantic. As the coastline of North America appeared once again, White's heart filled with hope. He imagined seeing children running through the village, smoke rising from the chimneys, and his family waiting to welcome him home. But what he was about to discover would become one of the greatest mysteries in American history. Nothing could have prepared John White for the silence that awaited him. On August 18, 1590, exactly 3 years after leaving his family behind, Governor John White finally returned to Roanoke Island. Every step toward the shore filled him with hope. He imagined children laughing, smoke rising from the chimneys, and familiar faces waiting to welcome him home. But the moment he stepped onto the beach, something felt terribly wrong. There were no voices, no barking dogs, no smoke from cooking fires. The only sound was the wind moving through the trees. White hurried toward the settlement. His heart raced with every step. As the village came into view, he stopped in disbelief. The colony was completely deserted. The wooden houses still stood, but they were empty. Doors hung open. Tools and everyday belongings were gone. It didn't look like people had fled in panic. Instead, it appeared they had carefully packed their possessions and left on purpose. White searched every cabin, calling out the names of his daughter Eleanor, his granddaughter Virginia Dare, and the other settlers. No one answered. Then he noticed something strange. On a wooden fence post, someone had carved a single word into the weathered wood: Croatoan. John White froze. Before leaving England, he and the colonists had agreed on a simple plan. If they ever needed to move, they would leave a message showing where they had gone. And if they were forced to leave because of danger or an attack, they would carve a cross beside the message. White looked carefully. There was no cross. Was this a sign that the colonists had safely relocated? Or was it a message left in desperation, hoping someone would one day understand? Determined to follow the clue, White prepared to sail to Croatoan Island, but nature had other plans. Dark clouds gathered over the Atlantic, powerful winds battered the ships, and towering waves made the journey impossible. The captain refused to continue. With no supplies left and the storm growing stronger, John White was forced to abandon the search. He sailed back to England, never seeing his daughter or granddaughter again. The lost colony of Roanoke had vanished without a trace, and the mystery had only just begun. John White returned to England carrying nothing but questions. The colony had disappeared, leaving behind only one mysterious clue: the word Croatoan. More than 4 centuries later, historians, archaeologists, and researchers are still searching for the truth. While no one knows exactly what happened, several theories have emerged. Theory 1, they joined the Croatoan people. The first, and perhaps the most widely discussed theory, is that the settlers survived by joining the Croatoan people, an indigenous community living on nearby Hatteras Island. Food was scarce, and surviving alone would have been nearly impossible. The Croatoan people had knowledge of the land, the rivers, and the seasons. They knew where to hunt, fish, and grow crops. The carved word Croatoan may have been a message for John White, telling him exactly where the settlers had gone. Years later, English explorers reported meeting indigenous communities that appeared to have some European customs. Some accounts described people with gray eyes or who claimed ancestors had come from English settlers. These reports remain debated, but they continue to fuel this theory. Theory 2, disease and starvation. Another possibility is far more tragic. Roanoke was an isolated settlement with limited supplies. Crops could fail. Harsh weather, disease, and hunger threatened every family. Some historians believe the colonists may have abandoned the settlement in search of food. If they became scattered across unfamiliar wilderness, many may not have survived. But this theory raises another mystery. If the colony was destroyed by starvation or disease, why has no large burial site ever been discovered? Theory 3, conflict. Some researchers have suggested that violence may have played a role. Relations between English settlers and some nearby indigenous groups had become tense before John White left. It's possible conflict occurred after his departure. However, archaeologists have found no clear evidence of a battle at the Roanoke settlement. There are no signs of widespread destruction or mass graves. Because of this, many historians consider this theory possible, but unproven. Theory 4, inland relocation. A fourth theory suggests the settlers simply moved inland. Instead of remaining on the vulnerable coast, they may have established a new settlement farther from danger. Over generations, they could have blended into other communities, leaving only scattered clues behind. Modern archaeological discoveries have uncovered artifacts at inland sites connected to the Roanoke mystery, but none has provided a final answer. Perhaps the greatest mystery isn't how the colony disappeared, but why no one ever found them again. More than 430 years have passed, yet the fate of the lost colony of Roanoke remains one of America's greatest unsolved historical mysteries. What do you think happened to the settlers? Did they join the Croatoan people, or did something else happen entirely? Share your theory in the comments. If you enjoyed uncovering history's greatest mysteries, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and join us for the next Forgotten Unsolved Mysteries history.